about the advertising preparation period and following the applicants.
I just have the evaluation.
Did you put that on
I
his
do
chair like
want
that?
everybody to know how Kristen
Oh,
will
you're
set up
talking
my
to-
seat.
No,
I just sat down and said, with them.
Yeah.
What's on there?
9 o'clock. is my
You didn't know that.
construction meeting.
I'll trade you that, or you can sit up in the room.
Not
She's working herself into, I'm just gonna poke you with it.
Just keep it right in your hand. Yeah, I know I'm gonna keep this right here. I'm going to
That was it.
You know, it was me, now that I think of it. It was these flowers. It was me. I was just so, I wanted them to look perfect and I didn't care what happened to you.
Put them up on top. No, but then they can't see you, and they put them between us right here, so they can see you. You've got to see you.
Can they see you though?
Well, that's the least of their worries. In fact, they'll thank us for that.
Chelsea, is that in a perfect spot so you can't see Wayne? The flowers?
There we go.
Actually, that's perfect.
Yeah. I told you, they thank you for that.
Running.
Buddy. Okay, we're almost there.
Oh, wow, ooh, look at that. I wonder if it's still connected. No, look at that. Cool.
He wasn't listening.
Yeah.
You're right.
Of course, they didn't.
I always know
6
you
feet
were.
all the way around, but I'm talking to you. Explicit instruction.
Yeah, you have to give it to people.
Yeah, not, yeah, not.
More explicit instruction here. Okay, as I look at the agenda here, oh, it's time to start. It is 3:32 in the afternoon of December 8th, 2020. We're in our regularly scheduled work session. All board members are present, along with the administrative team, the superintendent, the business office administrator, and all the other big shots, including Keith.
Including Keith.
Hunter will be a little late. Yeah. Hunter will
Oh,
join us.
yeah, and Hunter will join us as he has in the past, so we appreciate that. Now, looking at the work meeting agenda, it's possible that we would like a little report we can have time to have a little report from the rest of the district administrative team here about what's going on. So just give you a little bit of warning instead of just saying, hey, come tell us.
And we do have quite a few items for closed session. So if we wanted to go in closed session a little earlier than normal, that might be beneficial also.
All right.
But if
Okay.
it's not time, we can pass it. That's fine.
Yeah, I think after last meeting, if we're gonna have a long closed session, we need to close it, go back in after the meeting and not
Yeah,
make
make
people wait.
everybody wait.
Yeah, that was a little too much.
No one agrees with you more than the superintendent. Okay, go ahead and lead us through this. What
Okay.
you have.
Yeah, I think we can get through these items pretty quickly, so. I just wanted to take a look at the process that we have established for capital outlay. And as you see, the first step is for, what am I doing? I'm turning this over to Darren.
Yeah, so we have been.
See how he's happy just to sit there quietly?
I want everybody to
I'm trying to
notice
take
that little
notes.
laugh, that little laugh that he had there. when
It's difficult
He
to
thought he got away with it.
take notes and talk at the same time.
Although,
I'm
turning it over to Darren just extended the length of our meeting.
I can be brief on this.
This is what we're gonna do. Move on.
So we have asked our principals and department heads to submit their request for capital outlays, and those are coming in right now. We've got the majority of those.
Is there a deadline?
Yeah, the end of this week.
Okay.
And then we would, our next step would be to go with any of the board members, but particularly, especially the two who are on the capital committee. But we welcome all the others who are interested in seeing any of these. We would like to schedule a time to go to each of the schools.
We can advertise for a traveling board meeting, huh?
Yeah, I guess
Special board
in the
meeting.
past, we haven't had more than 3, but maybe if you are interested in attending, contact Wayne and or superintendent probably, and.
Probably me. Yeah.
Okay, and we can see if it looks like we're gonna have more than 3.
More than,
More than two. More than two is a
More than
quorum.
2.
yeah.
3 is a quorum.
2 is a quorum,
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Yeah,
3 is a quorum.
4.
Well,
So if we have more than the 2 board members assigned to the committee, then we've got trouble.
You
Oh,
got, you two are on that, aren't you?
Yeah.
yeah. So what, Melissa, did you,
I could go, I'm,
so if,
I don't have
how
to
would you
work.
like to handle that? then?
No, we better just stay.
Stick with the
Yeah,
2?
Yeah,
Okay, and then you'll come back as the committee and present that. So,
just do it right. It's easier.
we had hoped to do that during the next week, the 14th through the 18th. Our proposed date would be the 15th. Would that date work for the 2 of you?
There's your answer.
Beat me up, Scotty. The 15th of
December.
December.
Next Tuesday.
Thanks for that response.
Yeah. Is there a better day for you? Because I have 2 public hearings that night.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough day.
I have, I'm already booked that whole week, so
What
I
about,
should have anticipated that. But probably then Thursday is the next.
The Thursday after next week? That's Christmas Eve.
No, the 17th,
Oh,
but in the morning for me. First thing.
does that work for you?
I'm good.
So 7:30?
Yeah, what time would you?
Let me ask you this. Is it the 17th okay? Is the 10th, 11th better for you?
No.
No? Okay.
The 11th in the afternoon is okay for me.
As I recall last time, this takes about 4 hours, right?
Yeah, so after 10 o'clock on the 11th will work for me.
That would be great for
Yeah,
us.
for us too.
Okay.
Does that work for you, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
We have to have a little bit of caffeine for me when I get there.
So should we say,
Especially-
what, like 11? What time do you want to start? 11's good?
11's good,
Okay, I'm putting it in.
on Friday. Okay, perfect, that works out better. Okay. Good job, Jeff, thanks for saying that.
So from there, specifically for, I guess, Melissa's benefit, where the others have participated in that, after going and seeing each of the schools, the projects, and reviewing those, we would get together and, as a committee, and discuss them. We would then bring to the January board meeting an initial list with an initial prioritization, and we give each of the board members an opportunity to ask questions and discuss each of the projects. And then we'll ask you all to rank them individually as far as where you see the priority. And we combine the board's ranking with the principal's ranking to determine what projects to do. So we vet those over the January and February meetings with the hope that we can then approve that finalized list in March or before if we're feeling.
Will we have a list of anything that hasn't been completed
Yeah,
during this?
in fact, yeah, we can talk about those.
That would be good to have that in the January meeting if we
So
could.
we could see
Yeah,
where we're
yeah,
at
that would be
with those?
good to compare that,
Yeah.
definitely. the approval that we do then in January, or sorry, in March, is an approval for the next fiscal year. So generally, we would not begin those projects until after July 1. So because of the short window of time in the summer to do, many of the projects need to be done in the summer. We will, on a case-by-case basis, approve to do those, begin them before July 1st, just to make sure they get done. But if it's not a time issue, it's for July 1st and beyond.
Okay. Okay. Can we go to the next one? Sorry. I'm a little anxious to talk about this. Yeah, I can't wait. So we put this item on here, not because we want to review all the policies, don't worry, but we just thought it would be good to have a little bit of the discussion about these right now. So when we get to them later, it's easier to go through. So we'll start with policy 214. And that one you've seen several times, and it's pretty, oh no, this is a new one. Apologize. This is the one that is coming from requests from principals, because we don't really have anywhere in policy that addresses supervision other than supervision on the playground, which is odd. So we recognize that there are unique things about the playground. So all we did was we created the heading for playground down here on 214.8. All that's specific to playground. And then we adjusted the language for this top couple paragraphs so that it addresses supervision in general. Just general supervision. So it says the principal of each school in the district shall be responsible for the supervision of students during the school day, and that the principal shall designate a teacher or staff to supervise students as reasonable and necessary to provide adequate supervision for such students. The teachers and staff shall be notified of any supervisory responsibilities. So principals wanted something in policy that gave them the authority to make sure the kids are supervised, but also we want to hold them accountable to make sure that they are making sure they are supervised.
Okay, okay, on that note, and then in dot 8's playground down here, it talks about, so each principal of each school in the school district shall be responsible to assure that school personnel inspect and maintain playground equipment. How can that happen to me every time? In a reasonably safe condition. Is there any way we verify we're putting it in policy, but there's no way that I know of that we are verifying? Now, I asked that question hoping to say, well, that's really not necessarily part of this. It's in the policy and assumed and da-da-da, because I hate the unfunded mandate type of principle here where now there's just another form that they've got to fill out. But at the same time, we're asking them to do something with no accountability.
Well, maybe Carrie, you can speak to the inspections that happen, because those happen every year. So we get a report from, I'm going to fail to remember the name of the organization. I'm sorry. Who does is it RISC?
Well, we get inspected by risk management, by fire marshal, by the health department, by elevator inspectors, by the boiler inspectors. There's about
So we get all of those reports,
Yeah,
and
but
so
This is making a principal. This is saying that the principal has to do it.
Every other year, that is the principal who's doing the inspection.
Okay.
One year they send somebody, the other year it's a self-inspection.
and this is,
So, yeah, let me
Well,
clarify.
This is saying,
There
this is
is a
saying
yearly,
yearly. Thanks, Carrie. Yeah.
yeah, self-inspection is yearly. But then every other year, there's a second.
But do we have a report of the self-inspection?
Yeah,
Okay.
that goes to the state.
All right, so should we put it in here then to document that, okay, here we have proof that they did this inspection?
We can, absolutely. We can put that in there.
That's my whole thought on this is we're making a policy, but there's
Let's give them a
no
T to
account-
cross.
Yeah, there's no accountability to it.
So when we say, the principal shall be responsible to assure this, and maintain, said condition
As
and,
documented in the annual report to.
The annual self-inspection survey
Okay,
that goes to risk management.
and it also gives them the criteria that they need to be judging whether or not the equipment is safe.
how's that, as documented in the annual self-inspection survey.
Can I ask 2 questions to bring up a couple of points? Lee, did you have something?
Go ahead first.
The next, each principal, below that, under inspection survey. Each principal, can we put or designee, because there's gonna be some of these who send out their head janitor, for example, to do this?
That's a great point.
And define to me what regular means.
Yeah, that's a good point. As
Is
an
that
elementary principal,
Is that annually, is it quarterly?
I
Is it
was,
twice a year?
you say regularly, I mean, it's not like an everyday thing, but if you have a chain that's not functioning properly on the playground, it's gonna harm somebody. And, we had zip line that was causing kids to break their arms, and so it was almost a constant thing, but it wasn't like every day. So I don't know exactly the best way to put that. Part of it is
So what if we did something like regularly parentheses at least monthly,
yeah, if we put something at least, that would be,
or at least quarterly, whatever works. I don't want to make it onerous, but I don't want to make it accurate. At least, whatever it is.
And it's designee, and so that's okay. We're not keeping another 4 hours on the principal.
and that's, in real life, it's being inspected every time teachers are out there and every time students are out there. So in a way, you're kind of always doing it, but
If you go up on this policy above what you're talking about, all these changes, you can't.
up further.
On this, on the draft here, there's a bunch of formatting issues.
See,
If you go up to just
which
dot
part?
Like right there where it has the including, it's showing that that's actually a beginning of a paragraph in the draft instead of.
Yeah.
See underlined in
In
green.
the draft, where it's underlined.
Oh, right there?
Yep.
In
So
the draft, it starts a whole new
Just see
paragraph.
if there's just return, or back up and see if it.
And
It went
then,
there, so.
see, if you look down under dot 3, the middle line there, all of a sudden, it goes clear over.
Oh, yeah, there's one.
So that's what it looks like in the draft up above on dot 1.
Well, I think what I need to do
And
is
dot 7 is the same
to,
thing.
I need to adjust the formatting when I'm not in this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this editing
Yeah, so
mode.
there's several of those through
Okay.
there.
Yeah, we can address that.
Okay.
So is there a time, I guess, after an inspection then, if there's any changes that need to happen to regular inspection, that's done? I mean, there's,
Corrective action period.
Yeah, so with the self-inspection, anything so they have to go into a system that risk management has and complete fill out the inspection report, and anything that is a no, because they're yes and no questions, that it requires them to say what's going to be done and when. Then on the years that the that an inspector actually comes down every other year and does it, then they also have a report with corrective action, if any.
So who fills those out? I mean, who takes care of that?
The self-inspection or the risk management?
Both. Who
Yeah,
who
how-
takes care of the corrective action?
With the person completing, so the principal at the school completes their inspection for their school, and they have to,
Who does the work?
yeah, well, I guess it depends on what the issue
I was
is.
gonna say, depending on the work, if it's,
the principal
the
is
head janitor
responsible.
can do it, if it requires they hire a contractor to do it.
Sometimes it ends up on the capital project list.
Well, and I'm thinking some of the things like kids climbing up and falling off of something, is it a supervision issue? I guess they would go through those things at that time to say, we need more supervision on this piece or something that way.
Yeah, they would have to. But if that was a finding on the evaluation, then it wouldn't be a supervision issue. These are all talking about the structural.
The structure.
Yeah, they're measuring the heights and the spaces between things and reviewing the function of the.
Okay.
The regulations of how far away the bars need to be
Yeah.
so kids can't put their heads through, just all of that. kind of stuff.
Pop can.
All right.
Okay,
So the next one on the agenda is 547. And this is the one that you've seen several times, and it just goes down to toward the bottom. At the last time, the only thing that the board made a comment about was these old F words that were on here. The FGAJs and all of the FAJs.
F references, please.
All of those. So we got rid of them and put in the appropriate policy. So I think we caught them all, and just going down to the main purpose of bringing this to the board was, if you recall, just to make sure that if someone is expelled, there was a victim, that the victim and their families know when that student is slated to come back to school.
I just have a form, I don't know the rules associated with making it the ors or ands of the different things. If you go up to 13, where the either is, that red either.
Oh, 13.
Up.
13.
You must be
Yeah.
under
Mm,
one of these other ones.
Yeah, where you crossed out the red.
Oh, yeah, it's up here.
13 on hazing.
Oh, way up there, okay.
It's a big policy. There,
Right
gotcha.
there. So it, 13A says one of these, and then at the end of 6, it says and, we crossed out either. And is that the appropriate way to say, okay, you can have one of these, and then you also have to have B and C?
B or C. Because after B, there's that word.
Or, okay, is that the appropriate, I just didn't
Yes.
know. Is that the appropriate place to put it? Okay.
Oh, well.
The
I-
and, so we understand.
And B,
that-
so it's A and B.
Or A
Or-
and C.
Yeah, it's either, it's one of A and either B or C,
Yeah, I think the and has to be there.
right there, okay. I just didn't know if that made it part of 6.
I think it
I
just
don't
has to be
understand
there
the
because you're
format.
that's where you're transitioning from A to B.
Okay.
So. And then the other policy that we have to look at today is the wellness policy. This one, it's actually a really good policy. I've been comparing our policy to the requirements, and board's done a really good job with this policy. However, there is a little section here that currently goes above and beyond what's required. and it's not happening, so we're in violation of
Our policy.
of our own policy.
Are this the contracts?
No,
This is a committee.
this is the
Committee.
committee at the individual school level that would, be responsible for compliance and report to the district wellness committee. And that school committee will be monitored by the wellness committee. That is not required. That's why it's probably not happening, but our policy still has it in there, so.
Okay, so on that, so the paragraph above that, it says that the school district will establish a committee. So is that law, all those different people have to be on that committee?
It's specific, from what I recall, it was stakeholders and our policy specifies these, although our policy does go above and beyond the requirement. But as we looked at it with Heidi and Darren, we felt like it was still appropriate to have those individuals.
Has any board member been on and gone to any of those meetings? Good
Do you
job, Jeff.
still like that?
I don't know, let's
Twice a
see.
year?
The lady who left the district, she was the nurse before Huff?
Before
Or was it,
Jesse?
but was it before Jesse? Anyway, she was on the committee, I think it was her, was on the committee, and this is right when Heidi took the position over the foods or over the cafeteria, the nutrition.
Yeah, it's been a couple years since we've,
The board looked at a nutrition policy and everyone went, yeah, that's a great idea, but I don't know how we do it in reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's, I'm looking at all those people on that committee and it says school board, so I guess we just have to have one on there.
But I also
But I
remember
also
it
thought,
was
oh,
really, really, really pushed through the federal government because Mrs. Obama's nutrition something or other. So that tells you it's been 4 years.
may have been rescinded.
I would say it was at least 5 years ago.
and I looked into this because
I remember
honestly, I
this.
didn't believe we needed to do that committee anymore. Because I just haven't heard anything about
The
it,
school
and so,
committee,
but we do, it's still there. If you receive federal money for foods program, you have to have a wellness committee.
For the district.
all right.
Yeah.
If you're correcting that, can you just uncapitalize all those people in the committee?
Just get rid of the capitals.
For the English teacher, sorry.
Oh, school administrators, parents, students, representatives. that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll make a note. I won't do that right
I'm
now.
thinking, where are you talking? Okay, gotcha.
Before you're done, scroll up to under section 2 there and click on that link.
I'm gonna get out of that
The-
mode.
FNS?
Yeah, so click on
This
that,
one?
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
Ooh, that page could not be found.
Yeah,
It is the
it is the
That's the right link.
nutrition
it's
services.
food nutrition, but there's no graph there.
Yeah, okay,
Fix
we
that
can
later.
work on that too.
Now, and I remember us talking about this when we were talking about it, this midnight to 30 minutes after school.
This, the vending machines can't be turned on. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
Yeah, we
oh,
had
Right.
this conversation.
Does it have to be midnight? I mean, in the one we just talked about, the school is responsible for 15 minutes before the first bell until to the end of school. Do we make that consistent, or do we have to have this midnight?
My understanding is that's the way that the federal
I think it was
rules
written that
are
way.
written.
I remember talking about that, and I bringing it back up again.
I think
because
it is because
awkward.
we are
It's just weird.
so high in our free and reduced that we have, I think that it is required.
I think it is too, because we receive the federal money, they can hold that over our heads and they can say, yep, this is the,
They don't want it competing with breakfast.
Right.
That must have been the way, I don't know what it says in there, but that must be how they calculate breakfast.
so yeah, that's that's all the policies for today. And
What about 531? You got that in there still.
yeah, we're not,
You're not talking about
I've
that.
got a couple more questions on this one.
oh,
On
sorry.
524?
Yeah, 524 on the fundraiser part. It starts talking about how many fundraisers each school can have.
Food-based
Yeah,
fundraisers.
food-based fundraisers. Do we have, is that part of the requirement also? Or can we get rid of saying you can only have 3? Because again, it's great in policy, but the actual administration
I know.
of that,
I will check into that one too,
Okay.
make sure, but I believe it's, all of this language is coming straight from and just dropped in from the federal
Okay.
thing, but I will check that to
So
make
we
sure.
need to follow it if it's.
yeah. And then the vending machine one, underneath that, it says the school board approves each contract each year. I don't remember ever approving a vending machine contract. So it's just the next one down.
Under vending machines?
Yeah,
Didn't we talk about this before of giving other people opportunity that,
see, under vending
Because-
machine number 1, each agreement shall be renewed and approved by the Carbon School Board of Education yearly.
Oh,
And
man.
then there's formatting
Catch that.
past that problems there too. You know, again, it's, are you kidding me?
I'll check that one too.
I would hide emails, yeah.
Yeah, she shared with me a bunch of documents that she has to, go through. And so I'll sit down with her and we'll take a closer look at especially those items, but we'll just look at the whole thing and make sure everything is still required. As I was working with her, it looked as though the language here was matching the language that she was being provided, but I certainly didn't go into this kind of detail. But I just kind of glanced through and saw that it was the same. And then you're asking about the out-of-state travel thing, and with COVID and pandemic and everything, we just haven't gotten there.
Okay, well, I just thought it was still in the packet.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right.
and I do have questions, so when we're there, we'll get there.
That policy.
Okay.
Okay, well, that was a quick review. We did knock out a few of the things there. That were concerns. Hunter, did you have any input on what was going on there? Welcome, by the way, welcome.
Hi.
With these policies, the nitty gritty of school. Okay, then is there a motion to move to closed meeting for the discussion of the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of an individual?
I think you just made that motion, didn't you?
And can I add collective bargaining?
And collective bargaining, okay, and what's that word? Oh, discuss collective bargaining.
That's a move.
It's been moved, Kristen needs to get it, she has to make every motion. It's been moved, is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded, roll call vote to dismiss. Melissa,
Yes. Aye.
Kristen, Jeff,
Aye.
aye. Unanimous. Roll Just take this. Explanation. You call it I always say your explanation is that now, Peter.
No, I got it. We got it figured out.
Very.
Hunter, you ready down there?
Yeah, I'm good. I enjoy this stuff.
Right, I know, it's still like, that's still crazy.
Darren, do you have any?
You have any forms? No?
All right, should we get started? Let's break every record that's ever been set by the school board to start a minute early.
Yeah.
It's, Chelsea called it, right? There's a reason I put that pressure on her. Welcome, everybody, to our regularly scheduled school board meeting. We have present with us all school board members are with us, including Hunter, our distinguished student member. We appreciate him being with us and his input. And him and Jeff make us all look bad with their suits and nice coats that they wear. And the superintendent, along with our business office administrator and many distinguished guests. If you'll all rise and join with us, Hunter will lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank you. I do not have any requests for public comment. Darren doesn't either there. Are we missing any? Okay, we'll then move on to recognition and turn the time over to the superintendent to direct that for us.
Okay, with pleasure. We're excited to see here with us several of our student athletes who need to be recognized today. We have with us the first ever Carbon High School state boys golf champion. His name is Bodie Salas. Could we have him come up, please? So we were hoping that he could tell us a little bit about his experience as a state champion. And, you don't have to say too much if you don't want to, but just give us a little explanation of your experience.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dream come true for sure. It was a really exciting tournament as always. It was good to do that after my freshman year. Freshman year was a little disappointing as far as individual wise. Team wise, we did better freshman year than we did this year, but yeah, it was good. It was a good season throughout the whole entire spring and the summer, and then all through fall. Golf was good as well, and then the region play during the season was well, and then just went into the state tournament, and I knew what I had to do, and I just went to work and got it done. So it was a really good time, and hopefully we can have that team state title coming our way the next few years. So, but yeah, it was really good time.
I appreciate and salute your focus on the team play, but I've got a question for you. What does it take to know that to wrap it up for good, you have to have a birdie on the last hole and do it?
Yeah, so I actually birdied the last two holes.
Okay, even better. Sorry.
No, yeah, you're,
All right,
no, you're good. I told my coach Robbie Etzel before the second day. I told him they had this thing on, I can't remember what website it was, but they had live scoring. So after each hole on every player for the 2 days, they would put in what they got on that hole. So, it was basically hole by hole, the scores for every kid in the tournament. And I told my coach Robbie, I was like, do not tell me where I'm at. Like, I do not want to know like where I'm at as far as place wise. And then on the 18th hole, I just birdied it 17, and we're walking to my second shot at 18. I'm like, all right, Robbie, tell me where I'm at. And at the time, I think I was tied with the kid from Delta, and he's like, just birdie this hole. I'm like, okay, go ahead and birdie it. And,
He's telling that.
Okay.
That's what it takes, is, I'll just do it.
So yeah, it was crazy. And even after the 18th hole, the last group came in because I started on the front 9 and that other group started on the back 9. So they're finishing up on 9 and I was finishing up on 18. So it wasn't over yet when I was done. So I was just waiting till the last group finished up, and that's when it was.
Were they sizing you for a green jacket?
No, unfortunately. No, that'll be a little later in life. So.
All right.
Do you feel any pressure for a repeat?
No, I just one tournament at a time, one round of golf at a time. So when we get there, we'll think about it. But for now, I'm just thinking about tomorrow. So
Wish you all the luck.
yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we
I
know
can
it's,
tell you something though, there's about 30 or 40 men that you deflated their egos at the golf. It only took you one round for them to just,
Yeah,
but they're pretty proud of you.
No, we changed from, we're not that old to, we're just old.
They, it changed from, we're not that good at all.
well, we know the kind of hours you've put in, and this doesn't just happen. You'll walk out there and win a state championship. So, it's a lot of hard work and dedication. We appreciate you representing our school and our district. So, we're going to make sure that you get a small token of our appreciation.
Thank you, Mom.
Maybe
a whole arm's length thing.
Maybe a little hug would be okay.
She was
backing up in a hurry.
In this era of COVID, this is the only opportunity we have for someone to give you a hug.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, now we get to honor some academic state champions. This is a huge accomplishment out of all of the teams who participated in girls soccer in 3A. Our girls soccer team took state. Academically, had the greatest GPA out of all of the kids in the 3A. So congratulations to them. Could we have them come up, girls soccer, if we have any of you girls here? And
Do you want us to say anything?
yeah, could you please just introduce yourselves and
It's pretty tough when you can't tell a coach from the kid.
I'm Amber Smith. I'm one of the coaches for the Carbon Girls Soccer team. I just wanted to say really quick, they had a fantastic, not only academically, but also they had a great season. They were 11-6. We got 5th in state. And the awesome thing about these guys is that every year just gets better and better. And these girls, I've said this to them before, is they're not only examples on the field of hard work, dedication, everything, but off the field. You'll see them as examples. They're kind to everyone. I've never seen girls so kind. When I played, we weren't that kind. They're kind to everyone, and they uplift each other. And I'm just so proud to coach these guys. I'm Emma. I'm Monica Gold.
I'm Kimberly Goodell. I'm Casey Brady, and I play forward. I'm Miley Freeman, and I play defense. I'm Ryan Brady, and I play midfield.
Yep, and just really quickly, we had 3 for the first time make All-State. So we had Ryan, she was first team, and then Bev isn't here, and then Emma also made it, so.
Very good.
And we get to say the same for boys cross country, academic state champions. We're just so proud of them, their performance in the classroom. Again, better than any other 3A boys cross country team. We appreciate it. Could the boys come up along with their coach if the coaches.
They're not all here, but I'll support the ones that are.
I think a lot of them are swimming today, but, people always ask me, I think Mr. Richmond's here, I coach Jared, so that dates me. But, 14 years, so these kids, having the academic people always say, why do you coach this group of kids? Why not? Like, they're the best kids as far as academic and athletically, so all around. And then coming off of the state title last year for the boys, I mean, all of you were on it, so awesome. Good job. I'm happy for you, and it shows in the classroom and out on the roads, right? They're not on the track yet. Pretty soon, hopefully.
Great.
Good job. You guys want to say anything? Introduce yourselves.
Yep.
Tell them what year you are.
I'm Braxton Waring, I'm a sophomore. Nathan Hobbs, junior.
Kaden Gunter, I'm a senior.
I'm Kobe Cruz, and I'm a junior. I'm Chris Steiner, and I'm also a junior.
I'm Lisa Payne, I'm a freshman.
The other thing about Kobe Cruz, he top 10 at state this year individually, so that was a huge accomplishment. We haven't had a top 10 finish in a lot of time since last year. Good job, guys.
Thank you very much. We have an honorable mention. Due to COVID last spring, we were not informed of girls golf also receiving academic state champions. That's last year's team, but we wanted to make sure the board knew that they were acknowledged this fall for that accomplishment as well. Do we have any of those here? I didn't think that we would, but.
Jordan Bianco, who else? Odie, do you remember? Jordan Bianco and who?
They're all gone, I think.
Yeah.
Reed, Hurst of Edsel.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I just want the boys cross country team. I work with the 2008 NCAA cross country champion. So I work with him, and yeah, he's as driven and as you would example him to be. And I mentioned that our boys cross country team was the academic state champion, and he reacted like that was better than when he won the NCAA championship as far as accomplishments. So those that are the real deal that do that recognize that being academic state champion is you can't make enough of it. By the way, it was priceless, his reaction when I told him that.
It's cool.
Very good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for coming, and we just love to see you and appreciate it.
And I just mentioned, sorry, the girls cross country team took third at state, so a couple of them are here. You might want to recognize the girls, not just the boys too.
Yeah,
They were on your desk.
we have them on the list for later because of, I think the conflict that we had was girls basketball. I think they wanted to, is that correct? They wanted to be recognized.
Our volleyball players got the academic academic state champs as well, but they couldn't come tonight because they also play basketball, so they couldn't be here. We're postponing them.
So we have girls cross country runners
They're
here.
here, so you might want to just recognize.
Well, yeah, we might as well
want to, yeah.
might as well do it. Come on up, girls.
won the region title, which was awesome. Then we turned around and go to state, and we were predicted, you know, everything on computers now. Going into it, Christy and I talked, and I thought, we'll probably be 4th or 5th, realistically. And unlike Bogey, I want to know the results as it's happening. And if these girls remember in the last, 800 to 1200, I know Ambry does, because I could have touched her because I was yelling at her as loud as I could. But we were 4th. We were 4th with about 800 meters to go, and our entire team's still out on the field. And I can see it in real time. Christy's yelling at me, "Stop looking at it." I'm like, no. And so I'm yelling at these girls as they're coming past me, and just, we're in 4th and we're tied for 3rd, and, you know, yelling at them, screaming at them, and every one of the girls from our number 1 to our number 7 just cranked it. And we were on the most challenging course this year. We didn't get to go to Sugar House. We were at Soldier Hollow, and anyone that's golfed Soldier Hollow or been up on the Nordic track, it is not friendly. It's not friendly for a coach. We were dying, like we couldn't see them, not spectator friendly at all. This mask is eating me. But these girls just killed it in the whole race, but not only the last 800. We went from 4th, we were tied, and then when the results posted, we took 3rd, and we were 7 points from 2nd. So it was just, it didn't end. Like, I just thought, oh my gosh, we took 3rd, and we were, yeah. So they did awesome, and we lost two seniors as well. So we have a young team, so they'll be one to reckon with next year. And North Stampede knows it. I'm pretty good friends with those coaches, and they're already talking. They're great. So good job, ladies.
Okay, much more to come.
Thank you for letting us know.
And can we hear who you are and what year you're in? And so just stand up where you're at and say very loud.
I'm Lily Peterson, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Emily Jones, and I'm a sophomore. And she took top 10 at state too.
I'm Gracie Patton.
Thank you. I was informed that I was in presentation mode for all that, but the girls cross. You're the ones that got on TV. Everyone else was over this page right here on the video, so apologize for that. That's all the recognition.
Okay, well, thank you. Congratulations, and we certainly appreciate the way that you represent Carbon School District. Thank you so much.
And you're welcome to stay and listen to the business of the board, but if you leave, we understand. We won't hold it against you.
Everybody can leave but Nathan. Nathan has to stay.
I'm gonna go
I feel we need to put the recognitions at the end. Okay, let's move on to board member reports. Hunter.
I mean, I don't really have anything. I was just kind of thinking as I was like walking out of school today, how it just almost seemed kind of second nature at this point, like the masks and everything that's different this year. I don't know why. I was thinking, I was like, how absurd would it be to just walk into school without a mask now?
Yeah.
Like it just seemed kind of funny, but it was almost like in a good way that it just seems like everybody's adapted so quickly that it doesn't seem like it's even an issue anymore. Like at least to me, than what I've seen. But and I guess other than that, just it's hard to hear classes in E-Hall, high school. Yeah,
Because of construction.
I can't hear anything in math. It's fine. I don't know if I'm listening.
It's just, it's just calculus.
Is this calculus? What's the,
Yeah, it's-
who needs to hear it? Oh, it's 10:50.
Yeah.
Tri-City Council, Youth Council, any?
We last Saturday we did a wreath making where we all sat in big long tables and we were making wreaths to be delivered to people, and that was really fun. a lot of people. It was, I think they sent a whole bunch of them over to the nursing homes and stuff, so made a lot of people happy just spending a Saturday morning.
Okay, great. Melissa?
I really echo a lot what he said about things are just going good. You walk into the school and everybody's wearing their masks and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of issues. I'm really excited to see the kids still super excited about sports. And you know what? I'd love to go to some of the games. I know that they restricted people going in,
You have the pass though,
but
just so
our
you know.
pass will be okay.
Your pass
All
gets
right,
in.
good. I just want to make sure.
Pass.
And it was kind of a weird situation, but
The state
it
one
turned
or
out
the-
okay for the
The state one?
ball
Yeah, the
games
state.
when you just have the parents in there.
Yeah.
New parents that go. I just really think it's exciting to see that the kids are still
What's-
really excited about it and competitive and, you know, look forward to playing their games and.
One of the things I'm really grateful for is that UHSAA included cheer and drill as participants.
Okay.
So their parents
yeah.
get to come.
Yeah.
And of course, they're there, and it feels, it's not quite the same, but it still feels pretty good. Good cheering section, you know, and so it's great.
And I did hear, and it was just a comment made on the news the other day. Somebody said, we would all be okay if all of the students would act like a high school athlete, or everybody would just act like a high school athlete. Because they're the ones that are, you know, having the respect and wearing their masks and because they want to compete, so. Anyway, and they're all doing great jobs and all your service projects and everything, so I just, you know, it's good deal.
I just want a musical. That's all I want.
You want Jeff?
Phantom of the Opera so you can wear your mask kind of thing.
I just miss theater. It's kind of depressing. It's like we went from Newsies last year to this.
Yeah.
Bit of a tumble.
I think I'm just gonna pass this time.
Me?
Just again,
You
some of
notice
the
I didn't
same.
let you think twice about it.
Just appreciate everybody putting forth the effort they are to keep these kids in school, you know, try to keep as people safe as we can. And I just know everybody's doing a lot to make that happen and just appreciate that. That's all I have.
All right. One reminder, we've got the virtual state meetings coming up. So as you receive the information from the state, make sure that you're ready to go with that as it comes up.
You're talking the January meetings?
Yeah. I'm not sure if we're before our next board meeting, so.
It will be before our next board meeting.
So we just need to have that ready. With that, Kristen.
I do have a report.
I-
You know, this is my last night, and I thought this is my last chance to really get these guys. Because
I've got a phone call, I need
I
to
haven't
go.
been here long enough. Thank you.
as a board member, board reports have always been my favorite part of the meeting because we got to highlight students and hear about programs all over the district. So I thought tonight it'd be only fair if I gave a report on our very own board and tell you how I thought they've been doing. It's only fair. And I'm leaving, so any retribution for this report will be somewhat limited. I will tell you. In the beginning, as you know, I taught in Carbon School District for 30 years before I became a board member. Looking at it from the outside, I thought I knew how it should and could work, and actually it seemed so simple from the outside looking in. I was lucky enough to join a board that gave me time and training to learn important protocols, encouraged me to pursue things that were important to the community where I'd been elected, and they gave me space to learn in my own way that often decisions on this board have many competing forces, including risk management. In other words, it's mostly not as easy as it looks. After 8 years of service, I couldn't leave without making sure that you know some of the things this board has done to promote the district. it has been so nice to be on a board where kids have always come first. This board gave up. We went on one trip in 8 years to view a school. And the rest of the money and the time, they wanted to make sure that students got it. And I think the greatest thing is that kids have traveled all over the United States. They've performed at Carnegie Hall, they've won in first places like in National History Fair, they've competed in FBLA, FCCLA, and many more things. And that was really because the board supported that they could go and travel and do those things. And when kids go to other places, they know with certainty that they can compete with anybody in the world. And I think that this board has done a great service in that. There have been some unexpected successes like archery. Do you remember when we said, okay, sure, they can have archery? How did we know that supporting the formation of an archery program would blow the socks off the national competition in the first year? We even had 5th graders and 4th graders and 3rd graders that got to go and participated. This opportunity helped kids to see and believe that if they put in the time, that they could do anything and they could compete with anybody in the nation. I'm really proud of a lot of things that this board, that teachers, this is a district where teachers have been very involved in negotiations and teacher recruitment strategies. I'm very proud that we have been instrumental in helping teachers raise salaries to a competitive level. And this has been a collaborative effort, and that has been so gratifying to me as a board member. I think this board took a quantum leap when we asked voters to pass a bond. And now with everything that has happened, I don't know how easy it would be to pass a bond for a long time. And so I'm very happy that we supported a bond. I think that the things are going to be beautiful, getting more bang for our buck than we ever thought we could. Each member of this board brought their best ideas and talents. And it's been incredible because it doesn't sound like much to attend just one meeting a month. But inevitably, family birthdays and special occasions and lots of other things had to be missed because there was a board meeting. And we all did so mostly without complaint. Well, we just complained a little because we're human after all. During my time on the board, many of these board members suffered personal losses in their own families, but they still came to board meetings and were an example to all of us of the definition of responsibility and commitment. So to all of you, Wayne for always insisting that every person who addressed the board was given ample time to express their ideas and concerns. There were times we wanted to kill him. He let people go on forever, we thought. But you know, what a privilege to let people say what they really think. And then there's Jeff, who insisted that we literally cross every T and dot every I. And because of him, he increased our accuracy and success. And to Lee, whose plain old common sense made sense of complicated things like capital outlay and helped the process more equitable to all schools. Before that happened, there were many schools that were afraid to ask for things, and she helped with all of that. And to Melanie, who worked with us so creatively, she was the board member who initiated the widely popular graduation walks in all the elementary schools. So it has been really my pleasure to be on this board. And I wanted to thank all of these goofy people. Really, they're very goofy, but they have performed admirably. And to tell our newest board members, Melissa and Mr. Cox, Keith Cox, they are so ready and willing and will be able to jump right in and continue all that is required. And our student board member he's been a delightful addition. And and the superintendent for his organization and leadership. I can't believe all the work that he really does. And I saved, of course, that crazy Darren. We call him the money guy, the rainmaker, who can always be counted on for a downpour of sorts. I'll be on the sidelines cheering and praying for all of you, and hopefully I'll be on a beach in Hawaii. So I want to thank all of you for the greatest.
Well, with that, we're going to move the superintendent's report down. Darren, or superintendent, will you, we have a little token of appreciation for Kristen from the boards, and the district. Here, we have a plaque that says, Kristen Taylor, board member, good to see you going.
Right in the
And many other things along with the card here. We would love to be the last, since you've had your turn now, to go around and have our turn at you. But I think we're going to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And those of you who know me know that I couldn't take the opportunity to point out a couple of things. First of all, Kristen's wearing black. Okay, so she's mourning her loss of the school board. And I put on the absolute brightest shirt I could find in my closet today I'm not saying what that means, but you know, black and the brightest that I could find. Thank you. Thank you for everything. We appreciate it. I think if we, as you pointed out, one thing that could summarize you, thank you for ensuring that everything that we discuss is vetted completely. How important can that possibly be in a public board? So thank you. Superintendent, let's just move right on so Lee doesn't just fall into a ball of tears over
Yes.
there.
Okay, thank you. Really appreciate you, Kristen. I get to hear about Kristen all the time in my house because, you know, Kristen is my wife's favorite teacher of all time. So that won't stop now. I'll continue to hear about her, and my kids will hear about her for many years to come.
See, there are some advantages to being really old.
Well, I just wanted to report just really quick.
If you look at all those images there, he says really quick. Sounds like Darren.
I'm just gonna choose one at random. And this is Miss Hillman at Creekview Elementary. And visited her class. I was able to listen to some students read. They read with such confidence and clarity. She was conferring with the readers on an individual basis. She was completely positive and encouraged and supported the readers the whole time. I want to share maybe just one more. This is Mrs. Cox at Sally Morrow. I was in her classroom, and she had taught the students the procedure for independent reading. This was earlier in the school year, and they had mastered it to the point where there was not one off-task moment by any student. And while they were doing that, she was working with individual students. I am amazed at the work of our teachers, the ability that they have to successfully navigate the world that we live in right now and receive these students every day and provide them a high quality education. We aren't just talking, we're getting by. Our our kids are learning, and they're learning at high levels. We're one of the districts, I would say the few districts in the nation who can say that their students have been to school and are receiving a good quality, not just quality, but high quality education. I'm just so proud of them, and we love them and appreciate everything that they're doing. So that's just a couple of those things, and CCEA has proposed that our teachers are struggling with needs, and the greatest gift that we could give them is some time. And so in cooperation with CCEA, we've come up with a plan to provide some days for that. I have been able to work with the state in getting some of that worked out, and we'll be excited to announce the details of that. There's a few little things that we need to work through, and I'll get with you, Chelsea, tomorrow if that's okay, and we'll work out some of the details, and then we'll inform the community about what we're doing. The board, thank you, board, for being supportive of our teachers and figuring out something that could potentially help as we all struggle through this time. So outside of that, I also want to share with the board on our webpage, the very first link takes you to the website by the Southeast Utah Health Department. And if you go down, you can see Carbon School District by school listed out. I'm just gonna make that big enough so everybody can see. These are up-to-date numbers.
Does it automatically link their updates to our website then?
This is their website, so our link just goes to their.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So it does automatically. Go.
It is an automatic. As soon as they update it, it's updated here.
Okay.
As you can see, 3 staff members and 8 at Carbon High School, 3 Mott Harmon, 1 at Helper, 2 at Castle Heights. These numbers comparing to across the state look really good. Several of these have been on the list for a while, so we expect them to come off very soon, and they'll end up in the students recovered list there. So just wanted to make sure you had an update on that. We started last week the first round of testing for athletes. We tested 210 athletes and coaches with 1 positive. That's pretty outstanding.
It's a little bit better than 27% for the state.
Yeah. So our students, our coaches, everybody's working really hard, doing the right things. They're following the protocols, and we're excited about the possibilities of number one, staying in school, but also being able to participate in extracurriculars and other things because we're doing what we should be doing.
Okay.
That's my report, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. Well, thank you. All right, let's move on to the action items.
Well, can I just add one thing that I forgot to mention that I'm really happy about as a board member is we've never had a counselor on our board. And every person who comes on here has a totally different perspective and adds so much. And I think to have Melissa right now, this is such a stressful time for teachers and our kids and our community in general. I think she's going to be a wonderful asset to the board. And we didn't have any
Yes.
Is that clapping I heard from Chelsea?
It was kind of, she was a
There's
little
clapping
clappy.
going on.
Golf clap though. Can't really hear it.
Okay. All right. We did take the opportunity to discuss these policies in our work meeting. Let's move on to policy 214.
So again, this is the one regarding supervision in general, and then playground, specific items about the playground. So it's adjusting to provide some guidance as far as expectation for responsibility of supervision, falling to the principal and their ability to designate to make sure students are supervised in a responsible way. And then playground, we put in here the changes suggested by the board regarding the annual self-inspection survey. And then they're just making a minimum expectation of their inspections of the playground equipment to be monthly.
And then the several formatting issues that were up there.
Right, yep, I've got that to go through over the next month and correct.
So with those changes, is there a motion to approve as a first reading, policy 214, safety?
I move that
That's
we.
right, Kristen has to do them all.
That we approve, policy 214, safety, as a first reading.
It's been moved, is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Before we go there, Hunter, you weren't with us for the whole time. Were you
No.
here when we had this discussion?
No, not this one.
Do you have any more input on it for us? Okay. All right.
Because I frequent the playground.
That would be alarming. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries as a first reading. Then move on to our safe schools, policy 547.
Okay, under 547, we are, I think this might be the third or fourth time that it's come. And I think we've got it now to where all of these references to the old policy have now been updated with the most important, or the biggest change, the change that prompted the whole policy being brought to the board for review is way down here. So hold on just a second. And it is 547.10.3. And it just explains that we will, anytime a student is expelled, we will inform the victims and parents of the victims the readmission date of the expelled student so they can be aware when that student will be coming back to school.
And then there's several formatting things to go through to make sure that we don't have paragraphs where they're just sentences.
Yeah, I got that one too.
No hanging chad.
And just so that you know, this board docs program is touchy with the formatting. So you can see that sometimes it looks good when you hit this button right here to edit, it looks all good. And then when you come out of it, then it looks unfortunate. But we have been successful in playing with it and so we'll work on it.
All right. Hunter, any concerns? We've looked at this for a couple months now. All right. Is there a motion to approve policy 547, copy of, or safe schools?
I move that we accept the policy 547 as a final reading.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and then 524 wellness.
So on this one,
Is Heidi here?
No.
no, she's not. I can make sure that she's here for the second reading if you'd like.
I know she enjoys this so much.
But as discussed earlier, I will be checking on this policy under fundraisers to see if that's still required. I'll also be checking under vending machines to see if all of those requirements are still in force. But the changes that we've put in here right now, we know for certain that this red crossed out part is no longer required. And it was something additional that was put in this policy that isn't happening. And we'd rather make sure that we're not in violation of policy, and instead we'd like to see it scratched.
Did you include the summary chart? I didn't.
And then we've got the
Yes.
link.
Oh, I have that too. Yep.
Fix the link. Yeah.
I'm going to check all the links on policy 524.
Okay. All right. We had an opportunity to discuss this and go through that, but Hunter, anything else? This is an interesting one you might want to read because it does affect students a bunch. This is the vending machine one and
Come to the tail end of you guys' discussion on it.
okay. All right. Okay, is there a motion to accept policy 524, Carpenter School District Wellness Policy as a first reading?
I move that we accept policy 524 wellness as a first reading.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on this motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, this is the one that Kristen has the most excitement about. Approving next year's calendar.
So we have our normal Wednesdays all throughout, with the exception of these two right here. That is due to the basketball season, playing games on Wednesdays. And we were hoping that the board would be okay for those two to switch those to Tuesday. Another thing to take note of is normally in July, we would be meeting the following week due to the Rural Schools Conference. This year, that conference is in Richfield, and it may not even happen. So we just thought, let's put it back where it belongs in our schedule. And even if it does happen, it's close enough that, you know, we could run back and make sure that we're here for the board meeting.
All right. Any discussion on the calendar?
So in June, is that late enough in the month to enable the budget to be prepared?
It has to be approved
By the
for the
20th?
22nd.
22nd.
And so lately, the last few years, when we've gotten our tax rate certified by the county, it has been very close to the state.
Right.
But
Do you have like the 15th?
yeah, but I think it will work. We've kind of gotten to where the couple of times we haven't had that number. By the time we need to approve the budget, we've just estimated it, and then if needed, we can revise the budget later. So I think we just keep it on this date. Most likely it will be in, all the information will be in by then.
So you don't think we need to move it to the 22nd?
Because that is an option.
I don't, I think we can keep it, and if we find that there's a need to revise the budget, the board can come back at a later time and revise the budget. We haven't really had to do that in the past. It should be fine.
All right. Those look good for you, Hunter?
Yeah. Especially all the ones after May.
I was just gonna ask. You gonna keep coming?
Who said anything about you stopping?
Yeah, that's right.
Until you have a replacement, you're there.
Oh, no.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the Carbon School District Board meeting schedule for 2021?
I'll make a motion. Since Kristen really would prefer not anyway, I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting schedule for 2020.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're down to the consent agenda. Besides Darren's obvious lack of spreadsheet exactness.
We got that.
We got a square. That's right. My reading of his spreadsheet was missing the exactness.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Last chance.
You can approve everything that's happened.
I move that we approve the consent agenda enthusiastically.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, since it was unanimous. Okay,
Is it Hunter's turn?
yeah, that's, any outstanding items, concerns? That's there,
I'd just like, to ask one thing, now that I'm leaving. Of course, there's always one more thing, but, I happened to, the mayor spoke to me and she's just so excited about, help her junior high school. And I told her that I would ask if maybe we could arrange when the architect is here another time. She does work until 5. But maybe he could have time to just sit with her and show her the plan. She doesn't have any concerns or objections. She's just excited
It's
to
just,
see
it's fun
it.
to see
So,
what's.
Yeah.
her name is Lenise Peterman. And I do have a telephone number that I will.
Yeah, I have her contact.
Oh, okay, good.
So, yeah, we will arrange for that.
I think she will.
okay. Next meeting, January 12th. Now, according to our new schedule. So that's a Tuesday, January 12th.
But you'll remind us, right?
Well, yeah. You notice my panic, was it yet Monday, my panic with everybody? By the way, guys.
That was helpful.
Was it just yesterday?
Maybe.
Or was it last week?
helpful.
It was last week I did that.
It's like, oops, I did that.
For some people, every day is Saturday. I
It
don't
is,
care
you
what-
know?
Yeah.
When you're retired, what can I say? You know?
Don't point fingers.
Hunter, do you have a motion for us?
I, motion to adjourn the meeting.
We are adjourned.
Jim is so
This,
jealous.
the last meeting